Greetings. I am Brother Sylvester Muhammad, and this is my wife.
Sister Sandra Muhammad.
And we are amongst the many students in the classroom of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his representation of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Today on the timeline of the original man, according to the criteria, we're going to be dealing with part 2 of our youth, the Joshua generation. Minister Farrakhan did a lecture at Savior's Day where he spoke to our youth. What was the title of that particular article? We're going to be reading a portion of it from the final call, where he spoke to the youth.
Yeah. The power of God's words to loosen Satan's grip on your life.
Okay, you're the Joshua generation. You represent a new world order, but you got to get away from Satan, okay? But anyway, let's start. The timeline of the original man. Starting 78 trillion years ago, okay? God created himself from nothing according to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad is represented to him by Master Farrakhan Muhammad, the great Mahdi, the Messiah, the Christ, the one that the world has been long awaiting, came to America by himself and found the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Praise belongs to Allah. Then the woman was made after that. Okay, that's a whole nother story for another time. Okay, then the sun was produced. After that, the stars. Then the moon, the deportation of the moon. Very key history, very key story in our story, not his story.
Our story.
Our story. He, unfortunately, was not here. Okay, then original man, know thyself. That's on page, that's in the message to the black man. Original man, know thyself, the tribe of Shabazz. 50,000 years ago, those two stars were present that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan spoke about in the criteria. And he said every time those two stars appeared in the sky, the southeastern sky, they represent a universal world of change. Okay, those two stars are present now. 35,000, 16,000, 6,000 years ago, trillions of years it took for us to decide to bring this man out at 30% dissatisfaction, bring out the weaker side of ourselves, which is the Caucasian, give it aim and purpose, and let it rule. Then we got 4,000 years Musa, 2,000 years on Jesus, 1,400 years on Prophet Muhammad. Now we at, 1492, a very critical history again. Really it's when the minister, the messenger talks about in Message to the Black Man, page 3, okay? Columbus. All right? Now we at the transatlantic slave trade. And we're going to be on this for a while because this is where all of our problems lie.
That's right.
It lies in, unfortunately, the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. Okay? We're going to be getting into that a little bit too. Now, my wife is going to start to read. What you got, baby?
Right. Okay, this is part 59 of the timeline of the original man.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave the devil form and expression.
Oh, we gave him, what did I say?
Aim and purpose.
Oh, form and expression. That's why you need a wife, brother. Help meet.
Okay, so this is from the final call from last week, the hip hop at 50 from this particular article.
Yes.
Okay. Farrakhan challenges the hip hop community. Accept the responsibility of leadership. This is by Minister Farrakhan. This article was on June 13, 2001 in New York City. Okay. It states, Allah God created nothing without aim and a purpose.
Wow. I mean, we have to ask ourselves, I mean, it just rung a bell. You know, that's why we read it, but it just rung a bell just then because what is your aim?
Yeah.
What is your purpose? We are striving to find ours, and we found something, but we're still looking. But one thing for sure, it's in the teachings.
That's right.
Of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through his criteria.
That's right. Okay. It says, and blessed is the man or woman who discovers his or her reason for being. Each of you in this very powerful and revolutionary hip-hop community may have only wanted to make a good song and make a great impact. But maybe you are not aware that you have been chosen to lead.
Have been chosen to lead.
I am a spiritual man, so I have to speak to you from the books,
Yeah.
Bible and Quran.
Yes.
You may not think that I am, you may not think I am too hip, but when you hear from the books,
Yeah.
number one, who you are, number two, why you are called,
Yes.
and number three, what your mission is that you have just begun to see.
Just begun to see. Come on, baby.
That's right. Then you will know that the prophets of Allah God, who saw all the way to the judgment and to the end of the present world, had to have seen hip-hop.
Had to have seen hip-hop. The prophets of the world. Prophetic. Prophecy means something that has not happened, but it's to happen at another given time in, of course, history, but more so our story.
That's right.
Come on, baby.
Allahu Akbar. It states, you will not find the words hip-hop necessarily in the Bible or in the Quran,
Yes.
but you are there in a very big way.
Very big way.
In the book of John it says, in the beginning was the Word.
Yes.
And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And the Word became flesh, and the flesh dwelt among men. And the light shined in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not.
In the beginning was the Word. What beginning? See, you, the Caucasian, the biblical translators would want you to think back then. Well, that was back then when we created, when we made the Yakub 6,000 years ago. That was back then. But in present tense, there's a new world order coming in as an old world going out. Remember,
Right.
a universal change of worlds. So hip-hop, it's your time now. Because you know the words. In the beginning was the word.
That's right.
That makes you a minister. You don't have a lot of music. Ain't nobody playing no instruments, but you rapping.
That's right. Words.
Words.
That's
You rapping
right.
words. Come on.
Okay, the minister says, do not think it is an accident that music and culture have moved to this time, and that the spoken word has become that which is affecting youth throughout the entire planet.
The entire planet. That's
Right.
key. Throughout the entire planet. They're bumping to your beat.
That's right. He says, in countries where governments do not like Western music or Western civilization, people are sneaking around listening to the word and moving to the beat of the hip-hop generation.
Of the hip-hop generation. Go ahead, Brother Minister.
That's
Teach.
right. In fact, the beginning, if in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, then God here means force and power.
Force and power.
The Word has force. The Word has power. Force and power to move men to think new thoughts and to do new things.
As we enter a new world order.
That's right.
Come on, hip-hop.
Lord.
Come on, youth. It's your time now. Generation. It's called the Joshua generation. The ones that let the elders, after the elders had wandered out, then the Joshua generation went in, and they weren't afraid like you are.
That's right.
Come on, baby.
It says, set the stage for the next phase of rap's evolution. Understanding, accepting your role as a leader.
Yes.
Okay, the minister says, there are a lot of people my age that talk about the lyrics of rap artists. They are upset that the rap artists speak of killing, using drugs, the misuse of our women, ripping off people and killing police. But these lyrics do not come from apples that have fallen from some other tree.
What did we learn it?
That's right. The society says it. The society says it wants the rappers to clean up their lyrics, but the society does not want to clean itself up.
Reflection of the reality of that mentality in America.
Right. This is the tree that
slavery is suffering and death. Come on, baby.
That's right. This is that tree.
America.
Okay, so he says, so what have you done, young people? You have brought out of the closet people's realities. The youth have manifested the wickedness of their parents, their teachers, the judges, the politicians, and the rulers.
Yes.
When you
the rulers.
That's right. So when you talk about gangster lyrics, you are literally showing aspects of a government that tells you that you should kill a leader that they disagree with. So they kill their leaders.
That only kill their leaders.
Others.
I mean, look at Saddam Hussein. He was set up.
That's right.
Look at brother
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi. He was set up. See, they promise you one thing only to deceive you in that promise and then kill you. That ain't a gangster.
That's right.
I don't know what is.
Right.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
That's right. Okay, so he says, and that you should kill a leader that you disagree with. Assassinate him. Destabilize his government. Cause hundreds of thousands, even millions of people to die.
Yes.
Because you do not like their form of government.
Wow.
What is that? What is that but gangsterism in the name of government?
In the name of government.
Gangsterism. Okay, he
in
said.
In the name of government.
And that's the apple not falling far from the tree.
Come on, baby.
They get it from society, what they're looking at every day in their government. When you talk about killing, when you talk about shooting, you have got to clean that up. You talk about smoking weed and snorting coke, but that is something that went on in the White House. And it goes on behind the doors in the best of society. That is so true.
That's right.
What society would like to do with the young people is break the mirror rather than look in the mirror and clean themselves up.
Rather than look in the mirror and clean themselves up. Case in point. I mean, no disrespect for Mr. Kennedy, but him and Marilyn Monroe must have been doing some wild things up there in that White House.
That's right.
Amongst
other
others.
people. That's right.
Come on,
Same thing. It says, if your lyrics reflect what is in the society and society cleaned itself up, then you would have to talk about something else.
Yeah.
So society has to clean up.
Has to clean up.
Because they only rap about what it is they see.
That's right. That's right.
It says, the minister states, in China, in Japan, in Europe, in Africa, in the Caribbean, and Central America and South America.
Yes.
The youth are following you.
The youth are following hip hop.
That's right. You are already the leaders of the world.
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
it is frightening folks in power. And they are asking themselves, how do we get our children back?
Come on.
Then they determine, let's get puffy. Let's create problems in the hip-hop community.
Go on.
We have already put guns among them, drugs among them, foster gang life among them.
Wow.
Now let us put them against each other so they will never come to realize their power potential.
No new tricks.
No new tricks.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
See, I mean, to this day, I mean, nobody really know. We don't know, but we have some ideas. Who killed Tupac?
That's right.
Who killed Biggie? Right. These men were coming up in a time when the minister was bringing hip hop together. But that's another story for another time. That's Read on, baby.
He says, let's make them fight and kill one another.
Yeah.
That's the way the government thinks.
See?
Okay? Trying to keep us separated and break us apart and make us kill each other.
Divide and conquer.
That's it. No
new tricks.
That's right. Every time you use your rap song against another rapper and the magazines publish your words, the people that love you then turn on the people that you have spoken against. Then the one you spoke against speaks back against you, and his group becomes inflamed against you. When you are a rapper and you understand,
You gotta move that paper out the way. Go on, baby.
And you understand your leadership role, you must understand that with leadership comes responsibility.
With leadership comes responsibility. You know, I was talking to some preachers just the other day and I had to show them, a lecture. I had to reflect a panel that they were a part of when the minister came to Atlanta and spoke on who are the real children of Israel.
Right.
See, we are the children of Israel, and because America provides us with everything, food, clothes and shelter, Our educational system, even the hip hop, has been controlled by the people we live with that gives us everything we think we need. But it's time now to return to God, and that's what they're afraid of. That's because right. Moses became a ruler in the land.
That's right.
Where he was sold as slaves. They're threatened by that.
That's right. That's right.
The rise of the hip hop generation and beyond.
That's right.
The youth.
Fearless. He says, you did not ask for it, meaning that leadership role. It is imposed on you.
Imposed.
But you now have to accept responsibility that you have never accepted. Your potential to change reality is so great that you learn the skill of words. So great that you learn the skill of words and how to use words. If you
innate.
It's innate.
It's innate.
That's right.
You know you're born to do something, but here comes Satan. Yeah. See, bling bling, and deter the thoughts that you will have to do something of positive.
That's right. Direct you in the way that they want to direct you.
They want to direct
okay.
you.
If you learn how to say what it is you want to say, but say it in a way that gains universal respect, then the rap would evolve to an art form that will never be replaced.
Never.
It will evolve to be that form that will set the stage for the next phase of its evolution.
Wow, the next phase of its evolution.
He says, the freedom of speech is one thing, but freedom is not license. That's what is wrong in American society. You can say anything you want to without care for how it affects anything. That is not freedom. That's not freedom. That is license.
Wow.
He says, you say, I'll do anything I want to do. I'll say anything I want to say because I'm grown. Don't nobody tell me what to do. That attitude is revolutionary. It is really shaking up the parents. And it is probably the right attitude to break from the old, but it is not the right attitude to come into the new.
It is not the right attitude to come into the new. So you have to evolve. I talked about the caterpillar last week. Caterpillars don't remain caterpillars. At some point they have to go into the cocoon, chrysalis. Their whole form is broken down. And when they come out of that cocoon, they are now a butterfly. They have wings. And this is what God is beckoning you to do through his criterion, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You're listening to another word today. And that's the guide that you've been looking for. The planet has been looking for the last 6,000 years.
Yes, that's right.
Come on.
That's a total transformation.
A total transformation. Yeah. Come on, baby.
Yes. Okay, the minister says, what do you have to say? Organize, politicize, and enlighten the youth to become instruments of change.
Yes.
He says, the elders are rejecting the youth because the youth are not listening to them. And the youth are doing something that the elders do not quite understand.
Do not quite understand.
Let me help the elders to understand what is going on here.
Yes.
When Allah God took the children of Israel out of Egypt, he let them, he let the old wander in the wilderness for 40 years until all of them died out.
And I'm going to say something. It's been 40 years since the missing and murdered children that took place here in Atlanta. And it reached its apex in 1985. From 1555 to 1985 is 430 years on the head. The book of Exodus, meaning it's time to go. The book of Exodus said that the sojourn of the children of Israel was 430 years. And again, it's been 40 years since the missing and murdered children. And the elders are dying out. But it's a new generation now. The Joshua generation. It's your time now. But you got to hearken or listen to the voice of God in his criteria.
That's right.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right. The minister states, it says, he took nothing over 20 years of age into the new land, but Joshua and Caleb, because the people were wholly rebellious. So it is the youth that inhabited the promised land.
It is the youth that inhabited the promised land. Again, missing and murdered children, black males. The lecture the minister did, black youth in peril. The lecture that when he was given the announcement on his more than a vision-like experience with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said there was a war being planned against Islam, Nation of Islam, and black youth in particular.
That's right.
Why black youth? Because they are listening. The hip-hop generation is listening to the minister. Because he is that one that's going to help us to get to the Joshua side of the new reality of what's going to come down on our planet.
That's right. Allahu Akbar. Okay, the minister says, is that a sign of you today?
Yes.
You are the most courageous generation that we have ever had.
Ever had.
You are the strongest generation that we have ever had.
Come on, come on.
You are the most fearless generation we have ever had. But your courage and your fearlessness are being used by the enemy so that you will destroy each other.
And that reflects back to the root of our suffering, the secret relationships between blacks and Jews.
That's right, Allahu Akbar. Okay, the minister states, when you pull the gun out, it makes you feel powerful. But the gun did not get you a following in China.
Listen up, listen up.
The gun did not get you followers in Iran,
Come on.
Egypt, Ghana, and South Africa.
Come on, you got to read that again.
He said, when you pull the gun out, it makes you feel powerful. But the gun did not get you a following in China.
Come on.
The gun did not get you followers in Iran, Egypt, Ghana, and South Africa.
Come on.
It was the word.
The spoken word, hip-hop.
Yes. Woo.
The minister said at one time, he said, he told the rapper, said, you don't understand, you're a minister.
That's right.
You're speaking the word. It's just that you have to evolve the word that you're speaking, and then we can make a whole new world.
That's right. That's why he said you have to study.
You have to study.
Okay, it says, it was the word. I have to say it again.
It was the word.
He says, you do not need the gun to empower you.
Yeah.
Because the gun in the hand of an undeveloped mind becomes an instrument of self-destruction.
Self-destruction.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
You have become now tools of a satanic mind that will use you to destroy your future.
A satanic mind.
Satanic mind.
That will use you to destroy your future. And that's back to the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. They run the industry.
That's right.
They determine what you're gonna rap.
That's right.
If they can. Some brothers are powerful, but they determine whether you're gonna make money or not. And you go for it because you like the bling, but it's time now for you to stand up and be a man's man.
That's right.
And listen to the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right. So the minister says, I believe you can change the reality of American life and the racism that exists that has defiled, corrupted, and destroyed American society.
That is.
I believe that they cannot fight a war if the youth are enlightened and become instruments of peace and justice in the world.
You're universal, man.
That's right, universal. You can force governments to change policies. I believe that 18 to 30 is the age group in America that is not registered and do not care about voting.
That's right.
So the politicians court the gray power, meaning this elders, senior citizens, because old folks have united. They court the gay power because gays have united. But they have no program for youth because the youth, which is the most potentially powerful group in the country, have not organized.
Have not organized. Have not organized.
He says if the youth were organized, politicized, and highly enlightened, then the 2 years old that have your rap.
2 years old.
2 year old.
Come on.
2 year olds that learn your rap can learn more than ABCs, Donald Duck, and Mickey Mouse, because they are listening to you more than they are listening to their parents and their teachers.
Allahu Akbar. And see, that lies what Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching us in order to bring up a new world, you have to talk to the minds of those that are fresh out of the womb. Right. That shows the value of the woman again, because she have to talk to the baby while it's in the womb. And then when it get out, you give it those positive reinforcements, and you can't help but produce a new world. Huh? With that type of spoken word. Because in the beginning, new beginning is the word. And then that word is being made flesh.
Allahu Akbar. That's just so beautiful.
Yes.
It said, minister says, will you accept your responsibility as a leader?
As a leader.
This will take some courage, but you have got that.
You got it.
That's right. It is also going to take some study.
See, you got it. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho.
That's right.
With the youth.
That's right.
And now, look, he told them, because they had so much courage and faith in what Joshua was representing to them, he told them to just make a circuit.
That's right, circle.
7 circles around. And then the walls came tumbling down. And that just means that they listened to Joshua and his spoken word. And the walls. They repeated what he said. And the vibration of the word, the vibration on the frequency of the God's consciousness brought the walls down.
That's right. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Come on, baby.
Okay, the minister says you have to digest newspapers.
Yeah.
Because current events are what rap artists have got to rap about.
Now check this. Come on, brother minister. Make it plain.
Put your own spin on it.
Put your own spin on it.
He says, let me tell you some current events that are happening that I believe you should be a part of. Did you know about Kwame Nkrumah and what's that, Gamal Abner Assir?
Come on.
These are people that have passed on.
Yes.
But Gamal Abdul Nasir was an Egyptian Arab.
Come on, listen up.
Kwame Nkrumah was an African leader educated in America.
Come on.
Together they came up with the thought of the United States of Africa.
Together they came up with the thought of the United States of Africa. They did that.